Hey Betty, how you doing?
Hello, Kelly. All good, and you?
It's been an interesting book week so far. I've had a couple of interesting things to read. I'm currently reading an arc, which I won't give away yet, but I want to trudge through and finalize. And I've also read the first book by Luna Vesper, the prequel to her series, and you're gonna love it. I know I've already talked about this. I
Great.
know, but I can't shut up. It's amazing. You're gonna love it. A lot of high fae, fantasy powers. You're gonna love it. So I'll add it to your TBR. Just, the one that never stops growing. I'll
Because we
add it.
don't have any book there, so yeah.
No, like not at all. I mean, just from our pre-orders, we have Wrath of the Fallen, Between Two Kings, and Brimstone is coming. So gonna be an interesting rest of November, but well, I'm sure we'll get there. In the meantime, I know you just finalized the book that I love.
Yes. So we have a lot of books coming in that we pre-order, although we are trying to prioritize arcs and new authors. And I just finished, like, just out of the oven. I just finished, like, The Black Butterfly from Laura P. Wilson, and I'm going to write on Goodreads today because I know that's not yet published, but I think like this is going to be a bestseller. I'm sure. I have read 70 something books this year, and this is definitely one of the best. And I'm not going to give away a lot,
Spoiler.
but I really urge people, if you like history, if you like vampires, if you like what can I say?
Just go and see it. I know. I know.
And following my logic, as I was going, as I said, like going to new
Mhm.
authors and reading arcs, I already have a next one. I already bought yesterday on Kindle. I bought Tainted Love from Una Dove. So I am very excited. I saw
I know.
some of
I'm
her
super curious.
fan art, yeah, on her Instagram, and I was like, "Oh my god, I need to read this." So probably I will start today. Yeah, I'm very good at starting and finishing and starting a
Yeah.
new book on the same day. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I'm very excited. So yeah, that's my
Uh,
next.
I may have already done a couple of videos hinting at stalker romance because, well, I'm super curious about that one as well. I have the arc to go through, and then I have the book by Luna Vesper, the first
Hmm.
book of the series, which I know is a bit more encompassing and it's thick, so I'm gonna have to go through it because I really can't wait for it. But then I'm gonna go for that stalker
You go to,
romance.
yeah.
I need to. And then to be honest, so besides all of our amazing TBRs that we have pending, I will still manage to slip through another book by Layla Faye. So it's the first one in terms of Christmas. I arced for a very killer Christmas, and there is a very stalker Christmas. So I think I'm gonna go back in time and buy that one on Kindle
Mm.
because I'm super curious. And it's stalker. I'm guessing we're gonna go with stalker for a little while because it's kind of, I don't know. So yeah, I think we should
Promise.
give it a read, maybe, because we don't like books at all.
No, no, we don't. We don't.
In the
Yeah.
meantime, guys, for the first time, we will have someone we've invited to our chats. We apologize in advance to this person for any stupidity that comes out, which is most
It's
likely
just
what we're going to
good.
do. But we are going to try and actually do an interview.
Yes. And again, emphasis on the trying.
Emphasis on the try because, well, we are going
It's
to try this interview to one of our favorite AI artists from Instagram, and hopefully he manages to join us in our call. Let's see. Just as a
okay.
prompt, you've probably seen some of his work, especially if you're following Dame Ro, which if you don't, what have you
You
been
should.
doing? You should. You
You're
need to.
wasting your life.
What are you doing? And by the way, again, Prince of Lust is coming out on December 9th, and it's already
Yes.
available in Kindle for pre-order, in case you forgot. I know we all have busy lives, so just stating that, I mean, do go in and have a look.
We are
But
your
he has
kind
some of those
reminder.
great work. Kindle, go in, click.
Exactly.
Nothing too shabby. But yeah, and he will be joining us as soon as he can. And he's done some of the works for them Robe. I know he's doing works for other authors as well. So he's actually starting to reach out directly to the authors. But of course, before that, you could see in his Instagram, Sarah J. Maas. which kind of is where we all start in one way or another with romantasy, whether it is reading or
Yeah.
clearly designing stuff. So,
And yeah, and he is the author of our profile picture
true.
on Instagram, and here it is.
Oh, Ahriman, how are you today? We're not gonna be
Welcome.
calling you Ahriman, by
You
the
could
way, 'cause that's not gonna happen. That's too weird. So you're Pedro. That's the reality of it. You're Pedro.
you could have mentioned this needed Chrome, would have made it faster to enter.
Do you think I know that it needed Chrome? Come on. I'm not the techie one. I managed to find a way for us to do this. That was
We
already
always use
fantastic.
Chrome, so
Browsers. What you gonna do?
yeah.
So, Pedro, welcome to our episode, to our chats. We do have a couple of questions for you. Namely, the
Okay.
first one being, how did you get started with all of this fantastic work you're doing?
Okay, so well, my day job is in a technical field. I'm not an engineer by any measure, but it has taken me to a position where I could actually pursue generative AI,
Yeah.
getting a couple of belts on that. And while the core focus of generative AI isn't necessarily image generation, it is a part of it. So I dabbled with it for a while on and off until someone asked me if I wouldn't mind creating a couple of book characters that specifically had received little attention from the other artists. And I took up that challenge with very little experience and just went from there.
That sounds
I
like
need
a
to
fun
ask.
challenge.
Yeah,
But go,
I need to
go,
ask.
go, Patty.
Why this handle? Why Ahriman? What does that mean?
Well, there's two sides of Ahriman that can be considered. One of them is him being the Zoroastrian god of destruction, but also a deceiver, which has some weight into AI and what we do in terms of image generation, right? We're technically deceiving people. Is it real? Is it not? But there's also a fantasy side to it, which has been used extensively in books, games, etc., specifically focused on Ahriman from the Warhammer universe. He's primarily a seeker of knowledge above everything else. He's the chief librarian to his own Primarch. And he's the one who both saved and doomed his entire people, so to say, by casting a spell called the Rubric of Ahriman.
The rubric?
Turned to yes, the Rubric of Ahriman. It turned to
Okay.
ash all of those that had no power, and bound them into their own armors to be forever automatons. And on the other hand, those that did have some power became even more empowered by it and became effectively immortal. So I like the interpretation of bringing power to enlightenment and shunning those with no interest in learning or understanding.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. All right. So there was
Okay.
some curiosity there about the handle.
Yes,
I
it
don't
was
know
like
that.
since day one, I was like, I need to know. I'm very curious. So thank you for for letting us know. And I'm sorry, I also have a guest in my desk
Your
with a
usual
lot
guests, are
less
they around?
hair. No, with more hair than with Pedro, and it's some
Oh, that's not
chaos
hard.
here. My apologies. So okay, and what about your style? What you would you describe to be more of your artistic style?
Well, I think it's fairly self-explanatory from my Instagram account. I focus on hyperrealism. I've done other styles here and there. I've done a little bit more on the oil painting side of things. I tend to steer away from the manga and anime side.
Yeah.
But anything goes. Whatever feels right. And in terms of actually inspiration, whatever book feels right at time.
Out of curiosity, have you ever tried to recreate an AI of known historic people like queens, kings, and
Yes.
like I don't know. Have you?
I have
How
not
did it go?
queen or king or anything like that, but I was asked to create a liking of an ancient Egyptian priestess, actually. I think I actually have that posted on my page. I can't
I
recall
need
right
to
now,
check.
but I think she is there. And yeah, there's not a lot of information to go on what she does or she did look like. But that, and I think that brings the key to what I do. It's interpretation. It's not supposed to be exactly down to the finest of detail. It's supposed to be an interpretation. If I wanted to go to the minutia, then I would just have a picture It wouldn't make
True.
difference anyway.
How do you know if, like, when you're doing something that the picture is done, like finished, versus also, because I'm sure this happened to you, when you're trying to create something, it goes completely the opposite, but you still liked what came out of it?
Okay, so let me try and break that down. So on whether something is finished or not, I'm a perfectionist with my creation, so I don't think it ever feels finished. But at some point, many iterations into an attempted creation, I just feel that it accurately reflects what I'm trying to achieve. And I'll leave it at that because the costs of producing my pieces also need to be considered. So as time goes on and I produce more and more of the same, trying to achieve exactly what I want, I'm just using up money. So I need to take that into consideration and the time it takes away from other things as well. So sometimes I just have to settle. As for pieces that have turned out completely different every day, every single creation, it doesn't matter which one I try. I'm sure that when I start creating something, I will get a handful of pieces that are nothing like what I actually requested. AI has a tendency to ignore you sometimes and does whatever it wants. So it's a bit of a roulette on occasion. Some of those pieces are good. I've kept several of those for myself. I don't necessarily post them. Others will, well, they're going to be paying for psychiatrists for quite some time, if that makes sense.
They also need work, Pedro, okay? Psychiatrists
Yeah.
also need work. So you're helping someone by doing awful images. So you never
Yeah, I
know.
guess.
Yeah.
All right, Betty.
And like from this world, which author or literary work would you would like to visualize into AI? Do you have any any favorite author or that you would like to see right there
Without
in
considering
AI?
costs, right? Without considering, it's like
Yes,
possibilities, not
yes,
basis on the
Right.
cost of creating. Realm of
Well,
infinite.
I guess it's a
exactly.
tricky question because I feel
I
like
would ask.
depending on the genre of what is being produced, any author would actually be deserving of art being generated. But I can tell you one author that I would never try: Tolkien. Not in a million years.
I wonder
The
why.
level of detail he goes into everything he wrote, it would give our current AI models a stroke. It wouldn't work. It's difficult for me to find a specific book or character that hasn't been done over and over again. Even for those that haven't had much AI done for them, there's still some art in existence, even if it's just standard book art. I prefer to interpret the characters myself, so I try to go for books and authors that haven't had much done for them yet. So if I could choose one I would like to do, I would probably go for something that is, well, as far from recent as can be. I would probably go for H.P. Lovecraft, maybe The Call of Cthulhu, something along those lines. Collaborating with Lovecraft, that would be interesting. Again, might give a lot of work to psychiatrists in the future because I'm pretty sure I would come out of it clinically insane, but
Yeah.
should be interesting.
It seems like you have a penchant for helping psychiatrists.
Yeah, you're helping
Yeah.
authors and psychiatrists. You are so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, clearly.
Giving back to the world.
Yes. Yes, the world will appreciate eventually or not.
Eventually.
Well,
Okay.
but thank
So
you.
how do you think that the visuals that you're creating, right? How do they shape or change the experience of anyone who's reading the books? Like if I'm reading a book and you've created a visual, how do you think that is translating into my experience? Or, how at least do you think it will help/hinder?
I wouldn't say that these things could change how things are experienced because they already are. We see AI at work every day, more and more and more. And not just for random images. I mean, the quality and accuracy of AI generated content is evolving by leaps and bounds on a daily basis, really. We see clips, trailers, whole cinematic videos made entirely with AI. And it's getting harder to tell what's real and what isn't. I mean, you can't just, like we used to months ago, not even decades ago, but months ago, you could just have a look and say, oh, he's got 6 fingers. That's AI. It's getting harder to tell. I don't think AI is going to replace authors anytime soon. No AI can actually convey the right emotions for the right scene. And while AI can be clinical with the level of detail, it's probably less important to a reader to know that a flower has a degradé ranging between light pink and deep red with yellow stems and laden with pollen. It's probably more important to know that it was a lovely spring day with beautiful flowers
Yeah.
swaying in a warm breeze. And those are the kind of nuances that AI can't really produce, at least not yet.
Yet sounds like
That
a good
said, I'm
option.
pretty sure we'll be seeing a lot of video adaptations from the books we love. So I would expect us to pick up on the works of Tolkien, for example, and eventually start seeing spin-off series and things like that that are entirely AI generated. That's what I would expect. I'm sure pretty sure it will have a serious impact in the movie business. If
Yeah. Yeah. And do you think AI can be considered art? Because there are many people say, no, it's not art. It's not art. What
I
do you
would just
think?
ask, what is art? I mean, I would argue that an 8 foot wide black canvas with a splotch of purple paint on it isn't art either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people
Agree.
like it enough to pay millions for it, right? So I always think of the old saying, I know nothing of art, but I know what I like. And I think it applies to AI generative content as well. If you put into the work to do it and you like it, then maybe it is art. I think those who argue art isn't real art are just referring to the fact that you're technically not drawing anything,
Mm,
chiseling anything, or putting anything together. But I would also argue it takes investment in learning how to know how to do it. What are the best prompts to get you where you want?
Correct. Agreed.
yeah.
How it takes creativity to envision the piece you are building. It takes skill to navigate what works and what will produce an absolute mess. And it takes a lot of knowledge in other fields as well to provide the right input. For example, photography. For a lot of my pieces, a good portion of my prompts involve telling my models it's to be shot with a Canon EOS R5 camera or a Sony something with an 85 millimeter lens or et cetera, et cetera. So it involves a lot of photography knowledge. For mangas and or from oil paintings, you need to know about what you're producing. Otherwise, it's not going to be like the real thing. So you can do anything you can think of, but you need to know how to get to it. So it also takes work and skill to be able to do it. So I would say that is still art.
Agree. And I don't think it's much different from CGI, to be honest. Okay,
Yeah,
CGI,
yeah,
you do
exactly.
need a character first with all those points to read the body, the movement, but then you have the AI part, the creation part. So I wouldn't say that AI is much different from CGI, and CGI
And
has been
CGI is used primarily for
used, yeah,
movies, which is considered by
yeah,
itself a form of art. One where and whomever actually produces CGI had to study to get to it. They had to develop the technology to get to it. So yes,
yeah.
again, I believe it is art, but it's all subjective, I guess.
But do you think that AI can expand the creativity or hinder it or challenge it?
It depends on what you mean by challenge. Hinder, I don't think so. So I think AI enables those with little ability to paint or draw,
Mm.
or those without the funds to buy a good camera for photography, or those without the option of taking a course to learn how to create something, and enables those people to still be able to do what they envision in their minds. I think AI gives everyone the tools to bring their vision to life. So even people that have genuinely creative ideas aren't being stifled by other constraints. So rather than hinder creativity, I think it allows more people to be creative.
Okay. Now take us back to the beginning, in the sense, in the beginning,
Even if
Elizabeth, in the beginning. So, sorry, Pedro. We never
we
said we
have
were
to,
sane when we invited you.
it's okay.
So that
We
was already
cannot
on the
say
thing.
I thought you were getting
beginning.
psychiatrists too, but yeah, okay.
No, we're not there yet. Being yet is the
Where?
operative word. Okay. So how did the Instagram journey start? Like what drew you there, right? Why Instagram?
Well, on the same foot of the challenge of creating a few book characters, the challenge will also will put it out there, right? Make it so other people can see it, share it with the world, I suppose. I generally try to say that I create what and post what I like, but I also try to make sure it's something that is engaging. It's not much of an issue
Like
for me
listening apps?
personally. Sorry?
Like listening apps?
Yeah, I can get to that. It needs to be engaging, but not for me personally. There's an idea behind it. I really could say that I didn't really care much on how many followers I had or how many likes I got. I make no money out of it, and I have no intention of making money out of it.
Do you really?
Sorry?
Elizabeth,
Okay.
and follow. He definitely
That's fine.
wouldn't.
That's fine. It's only one or two. It's not much of an issue for me simply because I've found that making my generative AI art for up and coming authors helps them much more along the way than it does me. So
Yeah.
the views my works get is important to them. So I'm trying to make sure that my pieces are engaging enough and my page is engaging enough to provide authors that would otherwise struggle to put
Yeah.
themselves out there graphically, give them more visibility, give them more engagement. So it's why you'll see that a lot of my posts, or most of my posts, those that I make for myself, and especially those that I make of characters from bigger authors, you will just find them to be my posts with just simple descriptions, things like that. Not necessarily less engaging, but for authors that are up and coming authors, indie authors, etc., you will find them to be more often than not collaborations. Not because I expect to get additional likes from it or anything like that, but because it allows those authors to benefit not just from my post, but also from my own followers rather than just
Yeah.
theirs. So
On that
I try to
On that
expand
we're
that.
aligned. On that we're aligned because we are the other side of the spectrum on that, right? You're the art.
Yeah.
We are the, well, whatever we want to call it, the chaotic duo that just spews nonsense and talks about books. But that's also what we try to do, right? Is bringing authors that may not have a very big platform yet
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to the limelight. Whether it is because, I don't know, because I'm holding a book or because we're talking about what we felt while we read the book. The point is also to help them in getting a bigger
Yeah.
following, getting more visibility, right? Although, again, our platform is not yet that big as well, but in the sense of trying to make sure that they're spoken about and their book is heard of. So on that, I think we are complementary. You from the visual perspective, and we've shared plenty of your art
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well because
No.
we love it.
And
But we're
remember,
also there to
Kelly.
help them.
Yeah, remember, Kelly, we started our book journey with like on Instagram seeing fan art and seeing AI,
Yeah.
and we were, oh, this book, like, I have a good feeling about it. And we started like that. So now
Yeah.
we are also like still seeing, and some of yours as well, that we say, oh, I might like this book, and then we are sharing your AI, and then it's like kind of a circle, and I'm very happy to be part of it. And I think that, yeah, and we have so
Oh, and
good
by the way,
authors.
your post from, I think it's Roman, that caught my
Oh,
attention. I want to read that book, Pedro. I am
Yeah.
yeah,
super curious. I love that
I
post.
That's
yes,
been generally the message I've been getting around that latest post. I do have two from for Roman, but that latest one, I was trying to make it clear that there's more to me than meets the eye on
Yeah.
that book. It's
Yeah.
not even out yet, and I feel like it's probably going to be one of the best I've read so far. So yeah, I'm eagerly waiting for that one for sure.
So that means you're doing work besides glistening abs, which on the one side of the fence, we do love the glistening abs posts. I mean, I'm sorry, and I think I speak in the name of all the ladies that visit page, please don't forget the glistening abs, okay? Like Oliver, oh my God, Dame Rose character, we love it.
yeah,
But also, there are a couple of them that you've posted there that continue to be in my daydreams. So, I know it's not probably your ideal of art. Please don't forget them. Like Hunt Athalar, you did a very nice one of the last ones you did for Hunt. Just saying, don't forget
Glistening
those.
abs have a place and time. Glistening
Yes, in
abs
my heart.
are a big part of how I draw in more followers,
Of course.
which allows me to get visibility to the rest of the authors one way or another.
Yeah.
You're not likely to see a whole lot of, for example, Hunt, because it
We're
is
ending the
from a very large
conversation,
author.
Pedro.
Not because of the character itself, but it's arguable that one and
Yeah.
amongst others that I haven't even tried to do. Those authors have had art done to death.
Yeah. Sarah
yeah,
J.
And as
Maas,
such, I
Rebecca
would rather
Yarros. Yeah.
focus. Yeah, I try to focus my efforts on authors that need the little boost. Let's put it like that.
yeah.
Okay, but can we still submit requests even if like the characters are known, but we just want to have a visual? Is that okay? Can we submit?
I'm pretty sure you're not going to stop seeing glistening abs. It just might not be necessarily those from big authors. That was just my point.
Okay. Okay. Fair. All right. Can you tell us about a post that you did that went surprisingly, wouldn't say necessarily viral, but that kind of went outside of your usual rate of reviews?
Or reviews?
Yes. So I think that what connects with viewers tends to change on a daily basis. Nowadays, I have a very diverse follower base, certainly book related, obviously, and from authors to bookstagrammers, such as other creators of AI and even creators that are not AI. When I started off, my follower base was almost exclusively female, for example, which means that, as you
Mano.
mentioned, and as my good friend and author Trevor Jackson would say, glistening abs is what sells the most. Nowadays, it's nearly 50-50 in terms of male-female following. And I think my audience has become a bit more discerning as well. So good art gets views, like gets likes, gets comments. It doesn't matter if it's glistening abs or not, especially if it sets a scene and portrays the characters in a way that resonates with the readers. I guess we can use the latest post with for Roman Merrick as an example of that. That post it just went through the roof on views in less than 6 hours. So
Wow.
it makes a big difference. But I think that my most surprising post was actually a recap that I made of the summer of 2025. It was very
I love
lengthy.
that.
I think it was over a minute actually, no, I don't think it was a minute. I think it was 45 to 50 seconds. But it included all of my summer works, as well as some of those that I hadn't yet published. And it easily got into double the views of any individual post I ever did. And I also found that the viewing time was off the charts. People were actually spending the time to watch it
Yeah.
in full. It
Mm.
showed me that length is no issue if the content is
Mm.
engaging enough, which is why I always try to aim. You're not going to see my videos going for 20 or 30 seconds unless it's one of those compilations.
Yeah.
Just as you're not going to see a video for 4 or 5 seconds. It's always going to be around the 15 to 20-second mark, not because I find that is what gets the most views. I actually find that most people quit after 10 seconds or so, but it's what also allows me to do the second best thing, in my view, for my posts, which is pick the right song and the right snip for that post. So if I was just posting 5 seconds, it's not a contest. I'm not trying to get people to guess what the song was, and I don't want to post the whole song either. Well, yeah, 20 seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And
by
what
the way, I
about the
did love that
future?
of yours. The recap
Yeah.
was amazing. And I
Yeah,
think
it
it had
was.
cores in it, which I do
Yeah,
believe it had
it did.
cores. Yeah. Shout out Layla Faye. Cores. And by the way, she has a new book coming about cores. So Ahriman, just saying, cores
Yeah.
again more.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure Layla got a chance to have a look at my interpretation of Course. It is still one of the top 3 posts with the most views that I've got.
I wonder
Probably,
why.
And yeah,
probably
and
all
it was one
Kelly's.
that I wasn't expecting either. It's literally Course looking at the moon.
Makes
But hey,
sense.
if
Says
it
all.
works, it works. Again, glistening abs. Trevor, yeah.
Listening apps for the win, guys, whether you like it or not. All right. Okay. Now, to kind of close off, Elizabeth, maybe you want to ask our last question to close off for the day?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, what now? What's in the future? What do you plan? What do you project? Tell us all, or not.
I'm
Or
not going to
you'll
tell
be
you
here
all.
again soon.
To actually know exactly what's coming, you're going to have to wait for the posts. But
Mm.
I'm still working on a few things, several at the same time. I'm working on a few for Trevor Jackson and his book, The Pauper Field. I'm working on a few things for Roman Merrick's Off the Mat. I still have a couple in store for Dame Rose, Prince of Lust. And I have a few more for Christine Williams and her book, The
Mm.
Dark Sun. Um, and mind you, if you have a quick look through all of these, they're all completely different styles. You got romantasy in here, you got paranormal, you got the
I
works,
know.
everything, right? All of them have awesome stories to tell. The characters are all very rich. They're all very engaging. And to be honest, I'm quite fortunate that all of these authors have chosen to work with me, and I'm very excited to continue to bring their creations to life.
Dark Sun, right? I got that name right.
Dark Sun, yes, that's Christine Williams, and that
Thank you.
one's actually one that I have an arc to read, but I haven't been able to get to it yet.
There you go.
We can do that. We can also do
We
also do
always
that.
do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Christine needs more R.
Yes.
She got.
We're here.
All right, Pedro, thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure to
Thank
have you
you.
on our episode. Thank you also for our picture, which the picture that everyone will see as a
Yes.
thumbnail for this is actually your picture, by the way. It's everywhere. And our 200 follower post, thank you very much for that video. It was amazing.
It was.
I'm kind of replaying it whenever I can because I love it. It was amazing. And maybe we want to talk about like the 300 because we're coming up to that. So if we could, discuss.
Make it a 500. I'll make it grand.
Come on, dude.
We
That's
were so happy
hopefully
with
not
the
too long, but that's still off. I want to celebrate every milestone.
Yes.
And the next one is 300, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we just started a little bit a
Yeah,
while ago.
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, Pio. It was great to see you. And Betty, we'll catch up next week.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout out to
Wait, wait, wait.
Ahriman's page. Please do follow him. His handle is, as you are seeing on the screen, Ahriman. Go there,
Ahriman
follow.
AI.
Yeah, follow him.
Wait,
Come on. Yeah.
you're missing the rest of your usual spiel. Come on.
Yes, and about our channel, please like, subscribe, and share this video. Help us grow our small for now channel. And go to our Instagram page. Also show us some love. Follow us. And yeah, thank you for being here.
All right, guys.
Thank
It was
you.
great. Catch you later.
Bye bye.